What's up, everybody? It's B Show Brian doing some more non-horror related stuff to add to the mix this month. This is the official Mandalorian Season 3 trailer. I've been keeping an eye out for this one. Someone sent it my way. I've not checked it out yet, but I've heard that this trailer is really, really good. It's a minute 42 seconds. I say we get right into it, shall we? Are you guys ready for Mandalorian? I still haven't watched Andor. Here it's really good in a non-Star Wars type of way, which always scares me a little bit. But it came from Star Wars fans that I trust, so I don't know. Like, subscribe, notify, comment, hit the bell, all that happy horse shit, and let's check out the official Mando trailer. And my voice is gone. I'm getting sick, and it's been a long week, so I can't do the Carl Weathers. Here we go.
Our people are scattered like stars in the galaxy. What are we? What do we stand for?
Now that's interesting because I thought they kicked him out. I thought he wasn't a Mandalorian, and I know he joined forces with not Cara Dune. She was jettisoned into space. One of the twin sons. I can't remember her name. Katie Sackhoff plays her. Yeah.
Being a Mandalorian's not just learning about how to fight. You also have to know how to navigate the galaxy. That way, you'll never be lost.
Salacious crop. Mando. There we go.
I'm going to Mandalore so that I may be forgiven for my transgressions.
Oh wow.
May the force be with you!
This is the way.
I love it. There.
There's something dangerous happening out there.
Is it
And by the time
Coruscant?
it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
State troopers from back in the day. Oh shit! The Jedi Purge.
Hang on, kid.
Oh, that's awesome. The hell was
This is
that?
the way.
Little shit. My kid did that to me once. That looks. Hang on, I gotta go back. I'm not one to go back and do like the Zapruder film deep dive, which is the JFK video. Yeah, but I thought. Now this stuff, their outfits look more cobbled together, so maybe this isn't an official Mandalorian crew. Maybe it is. I don't know. Is Sasha Banks back for this season? I haven't seen anything. Money. That's her new name. Sorry. Let's see. Let's skip ahead, man. That's really neat. So first thing I noticed was, other than some obvious things, that almost looks like Leia's home planet from, which maybe I'm thinking wrong because she was on Alderaan. And this looks different now that I'm thinking of it. Yeah, and why is Carl Weathers? Like, I can never remember the... So don't crucify me, guys, okay? But I'm not super great with remembering everyone's new names on first watch. The Carl Weathers character, the head of the local, I guess, union head of the Guild of Bounty Hunters from where they were previously, he's in, like, ceremonial robes. He looks like a man of distinction. So I wonder what this is about. There's some Twi'leks behind him. I remember in the first season, he said, "I'll take you to the Twi'lek healing baths." Maybe he's just treated like a king there. It's not uncommon. Let's see. Skip ahead. Yeah, here's the... I'm going to mute it. But yeah, the armorer. I thought she turned on him too. She kicked him out of the guild, so I don't understand why they're arming him. This looks like Mandalore. I mean, I'm assuming this is Mandalore. They said it was destroyed in the Great Purge. So, this looks amazing. Look, man, I wasn't a huge fan of computer-generated imagery, especially with the prequel the prequel trilogy, and the way that was done, it was still pretty early. But my God, look at stuff like this. It's akin to Ground Zero, man. Amy Sedaris. If you haven't seen the show Strangers with Candy, season 2 it kind of fell off, but season 1 of Strangers with Candy is a really, really strange, quirky adult comedy that's worth checking out. Yeah, and this is Coruscant. Because is that the Jedi Temple or is that the Senate? I'm trying to remember. I can't tell by the shape of it. So, and here's the doctor that was doing the tests on Grogu. Here's Super Trooper from the last one. And there was supposed to be a crossover with almost like a Rogue Squadron type show led by Cara Dune. And like I said, she was tossed into the Sarlacc. So maybe they're going to give it to him now? I don't know. It is very smart of them, though, to build these little quirky characters that have some substance to them, then spin them off into their own shows that all weave back in. Almost like what the Marvel Universe has done with some of their secondary comic properties. All right, we're in a cave with Heather Locklear, and it's very cold, or very warm. I can't go a week without a Wayne's World reference, guys. All right, broken helmets, Jedi Purge, it looks like. Can we get a Samuel L. Jackson movie or Disney Plus series, please? Motherfucker. Like, and the next series of Kenobi, use that to spin off. Like maybe Darth Vader's there and Obi-Wan Kenobi's out of commission. Darth Vader comes in and Samuel L. Jackson comes in. He's like, "Did I call you master, motherfucker? Who made you master?" You know, whatever the fuck. Oh my God. You gotta throw a motherfucker in there. Or he finds a lightsaber on the floor. Like, "I thought I purged every last Jedi. Whose is this?" And he picks it up, and it says "bad motherfucker" on it. I still do not grant you the rank of master. It would be awesome. Okay, now this is veering into comic territory. Comedy. Too much comedy. But like if Darth Vader's out there just killing people and like making a running gag where he always catches up to Mace Windu and he almost kills him, and right as he has him at that point, every time he's just like, "I still do not grant you the rank of master." And Vader just goes Kylo Ren fucking emo crazy, like, and then it allows Mace Windu to escape or something, get the upper hand. Oh fuck! All right. Back to the Mandalorian. They show up at a cantina that looks pretty familiar but interesting. That does almost look like the cantina from Tatooine in a way. But I have to say, the coolest scene I remember. Shout out to Dan, my cousin Dan. We were watching the first season almost back to back. Like he would watch an episode, I'd watch an episode, and then I'd call him and we'd talk about it or text. And the scene, I don't want to ruin it, but there's a scene in episode 1 where Mando flies out with Grogu, and all of a sudden the jetpack, almost like the Rocketeer, comes up and he's flying in the sky and the sun's glistening off of him. And I think Mando says something like, "I've got to get me one of those." I remember he texted me, he's like, "Was that not the most badass thing ever?" And I think this right here, this scene where they're flying, they're dropping like the 82nd Airborne is really cool. And I think that's one of the things that's endearing for me about the new Star Wars movies is we heard about the battles in the original movies. They showed some fights, like there were skirmishes, like there was the dogfight in space in the first one. There was the snow battle on Hoth in the second one. Then there was the ground battle and the dogfight, everything going on at once in Return of the Jedi. And then you see more of little things going on in the prequel trilogy, some in the sequel trilogy, but they're mostly callbacks or copies. And in Rogue One, you really saw almost like a full-scale rebel assault, which took the Star Wars action into another dimension. And I really like this about these movies where you've got, now it's not just an army or an invading ground crew or ships flying into an enemy navy. But now you also have like spies. You've got bounty hunters. You've got like a rocketeer brigade jetpacking out. It's cool because it's relatable because it's terrestrial enough. It feels like something that could exist, but it is futuristic in another world. And I think that's what was so relatable about Star Wars. And I've heard comments from Freddie Prinze Jr. lately talking about what Star Wars is, and people are the only if you didn't like Star Wars, you're just a sexist and no, I just didn't. They didn't do it for me. Some stuff did, but not much. And it wasn't that Rey was a Mary Sue. It was just the story. It was dumb. I what would when I see Star Wars and when it's so successful and when it seems to be universally not just critically successful but commercially as well, right? When you have that mix of like, yes, it does well commercially and people like watching it and they're reviewing it well, there seems to be that original concept George Lucas had of like a used universe. It's a futuristic place. It is a space opera, but it's bumped and dented and chipped, and it's real. It's almost like, how can I explain this? It's almost like Hercules in a way, like the myth Hercules. Hercules is a god, but he's a man. And there's something familiar about that because he's striving to become godlike, but he really is grounded in the fact that he's just an exceptional human being at the point in time. Okay, and I'm talking about the Disney cartoon, not necessarily the actual mythology, because I know they probably differ. But to me, it's like Star Wars. It is futuristic, but it's grounded in realism and it's relatable and it's about family and there's these things that could really happen. They're just happening somewhere else. And the things that happen are, even though there's aliens and there's other species, it's the desires in the hearts of people that we see all around us, greed and temptation and fear and joy and love and family that tie this all together, that make it an extraterrestrial but very human experience. And to me, that's what I love so much about Star Wars. It's fantasy, but it's somewhat realistic, right? It's making the preposterous posterous, to quote the great Jim Cornette from the wrestling world. So, I don't know, man. I'm not looking for this to be, and what the hell is this thing that Grogu dispatches with extreme prejudice? They keep blacking out so you can't see. See if I can time. Ah! Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell. But it looks interesting. Something like Land of the Lost. All right, so I'm not looking for this to be a religious experience because I've grown past that. I know nothing is going to make me feel for a Star Wars property like the original did. But this looks like it's going to be really enjoyable. It looks like Grogu is officially like he looks, and that's the one thing that stands out to me is he's not just this kid that he's toting around anymore that he likes. It looks like he's legitimately in some ways like an understudy or an apprentice of Mando. So, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Let's check back in when the show starts, which is in March, I believe.